Hello and welcome everybody to another Starcraft 2 broadcast. My name is Zanaris, and today we're here watching a 1 versus 1 on the map Tal'Darim Altar between Krolu, the purple Protoss spawning in the top left position, against DeMuslim, the tealish bluish Terran down here in the bottom left. DeMuslim, recently coming off of a hiatus from an injury, is back and ready to go. So far, he's had a pretty impressive showing here in the April Champions Trophy tournament. This took place on April 25th, I think. It was just yesterday, but I already forgot the date because my sleep schedule got all messed up as a result. But yeah, this is definitely on the European server, and we actually had a lot of really popular players come out during the tournament series. Now this is the quarterfinals, so I do have quite a few replays actually that I'm going to be casting from this series and putting up on both YouTube and over at SK Gaming as well. Also got the Korean tournament. We had plenty of good games from that series as well, so you can look forward to that. This is going to be the first in a best-of-3 match series. And yeah, so I'm actually looking forward to getting these games out to you guys. We had a great time yesterday morning, even though I only got like 2 hours sleep before the cast rather. It was still a lot of fun, and I actually had a chance to sit down with DeMuslim for a second after a few of the games and talk about his thoughts. So after I actually cast these games here, I'll give you a little bit of insight into what his thinking was. Don't want to go over it and spoil it now, though, just simply because, well, I mean, yeah, the comments would be spoilers. So let's actually review the map here for just a minute. This is Tal'Darim Altar, and you could see the natural expansion is accessible immediately outside of the base. There is no ramp, just two little plateaus that are hanging out here. Immediately down south, there actually is a ramp that leads up into the natural area, and also splits off towards the other expansion. This is the third base for the player. Now, do note, this is actually something kind of interesting about these maps. And by these, I mean the GSL series maps. If you look at the natural expansion right here, you see, alright, it presses forward against DeMuslim. Alright, fine. Now, DeMuslim does the same thing, pushes up against the Protoss. And, oh, that's the wrong thing. This base down here, this is the Terran player's third. Notice how it actually is farther away from the Protoss player than the equivalent up here for Krolu. Something to keep in mind that you actually see this on a couple different GSL maps. They're meant to just kind of change the dynamics so that way players can't do exact mirror matchups and whatnot for strategies. So yeah, it's pretty interesting stuff there. Now DeMuslim opening up with a pretty standard build. We see he's got the orbital command, he's got the barracks with the tech lab. You know, a lot of times you'll see Terran players go ahead and get that tech lab early for the Reaper, for scouting, maybe a little bit of mineral harassment. Doubly important against Protoss. You know, those Marauders, very powerful units overall, especially early game, getting that concussive shells upgrade, looking good. Now we do have a scout up here for DeMuslim. He has spotted the Protoss player, sees that there are both geysers capped. Alright, so he knows the Protoss is going to be doing some kind of strategy which is going to involve mid to late game tech, not a 4-gate or anything like that. Now we see a Twilight Council going down. This means we're going to have DTs, or we could have Blink Stalkers, or we could be doing something like a charge lot build. But we'll just have to wait and see as the time passes here. Now, DeMuslim going ahead with the early expansion here. This is something that is very common on this map. This is a great map for macro-style play, heavy, you know, just building up, getting your economy going, and getting that huge base and going at it. So that's one of the reasons that I really do love these GSL maps. They really do make for some epic gameplay. And I'm very excited to say that most of the games that we played in the tournament were, in fact, on the GSL maps. So we do have plenty of fun matches, in addition to some pretty good times on Shakura's Plateau and one or two other maps as well. You'll find that out as we cast them. So anyways, DeMuslim here with the early expansion, going to be getting his economy going. Looking down here, we can see he's going a pretty heavy infantry build. He's got a reactor tech lab. Alright, good stuff. Got that combat shields on the way. Probably get stem as well. That'll certainly help out. Now we see down here, Krolu has gone with a 3-gate Blink Stalker build, and he's chosen to warp in these units down here. Now this could be a pretty effective tactic depending on the timing, and also it does rely a little bit on a little bit more aggressive scouting and delaying of your opponent. than what we've seen here. We see Krolu actually has not popped in here to see this expansion, so he doesn't know that he really needs to put pressure here, because DeMuslim is actually in a pretty good spot right now. He's got this bunker here, he's got this expansion going, so he's going to have plenty of income combined with the infrastructure that he has. You can see he's got the 4 barracks right now, and he's only running off of 1 geyser. That's really all he needs to do. I mean, you see he's producing just 1 marauder, or 1 barracks is producing marauders, the rest of the gas is going to upgrades, and everything else is going to marines and income. So we see now DeMuslim has spotted that attack. Here we go, folks. This is the first major engagement. 1 force field has gone down, but it's not blocking the SCVs from repairing the bunker. You see that DeMuslim has just been having a field day with the rest of his infantry, while Krolu spent the first part of that attack just trying to focus down the bunker, burning it down, and ended up losing some, a pretty good amount of units as a result. Krolu just not really able to get in there and make this work at this point in the game. We see he has dropped this expansion, but oh man, it is going to be really difficult for him, considering the fact that he is so far behind his opponent right now, to catch up and stay in this game. But you know what? If DeMuslim is super passive, he might have a shot. Krolu might have a shot at coming back in this, but the one base Blinkstalker build against a Terran who's fast expanded, unchecked, is going to be pretty difficult to work with. So it's all going to come down, like I said, to how aggressive each player is here. You see Krolu again realizing, okay, there's an expansion there. I'm in a bit of trouble. I've got to keep this Terran player contained for as long as possible with what I have. You see he's already tried to divert some of his money to increasing production of different types of units. We've got the robotics facility here. That could lead to Colossi or even Immortals. Immortals very good against Marauders, but they can be focused down pretty darn quickly by the Marines. That's one thing you do have to watch out for. And we see no upgrades just yet for DeMuslim. Again, let's see, he is finally running on more geysers here. We can actually look at the income and see 3 to 2, 35 to 33 right now. There's the 3, and then up here you can see that Krolu has been running both those geysers for quite some time. Now he is going for the Zealot charge upgrade. That is a very good idea right now, considering the upgrades that the Terran player has. He's going that heavy infantry. You see he's got a lot of Marines right now, not so much in the way of Marauders. Combine that with some force fields, and it will be very effective. Stimpack has just started a second or two ago, and we see Weapons 1 as well, just the same. Now here comes that Stalker, going to be coming up here, just scouting, seeing what DeMuslim is doing. He sees the increased quantity of infantry, notices the, alright, we still got a pretty decent Marauder size. So you see we actually have a second tech lab on now, and now the medevacs are on the way as well. So we're going to have a pretty traditional Marine Marauder medevac response to the Blinkstalker build. Now Krolu up here, he doesn't have any upgrades. He is going with the Immortals right now. And looking over here, we don't see a robotics bay. Colossi will be very effective also against the Marines. We see which would number in about 22. And there's the first medevac. So we're seeing DeMuslim thinking, all right, I know I have the advantage right now. I don't want to let the Protoss player continue to build up because, like I said, that one base Blinkstalker build can leave him in a not so great position when he, after we've seen how he kind of let the Terran player expand early. So now DeMuslim is going to be heading up here and attacking very shortly, and this could be an interesting fight, folks. We do have 2 Immortals here. Protoss player nice and spread out. Actually, almost lost. Oh, did lose a pile. Almost lost a Zealot there too as well. But he does have one advantage, the high ground. The problem is, and you see there is the assimilator over here that is vulnerable to low ground units. That's something we saw several times in the tournament and in previous games where Terran players will take advantage of that. Sure enough, there we go. We see DeMuslim knocking out that gas. Of course, the inclusion of siege tanks right here can actually lock down this entire area, make it very difficult for the Protoss player to continue getting his economy going. We're seeing that Krolu is going ahead and capping that third one. There's a nice blink right there. Will he be able to take out that medevac? Oh, so very close. Yes, he does. DeMuslim losing 1 of 2 medevacs. That medevac did actually include some units in it, so a pretty hefty loss there. You see how he's just kind of hanging out right now. He realizes, you know what, I don't really have enough to directly charge up the ramp like this. We see Krolu actually heading down, and DeMuslim is going to be going in through the backside, it looks like. And he does have a few additional units. Also, another medevac that'll certainly help him out here in what could be a coming battle. We see Krolu running back towards his third expansion right now. And 2 Zealots charging in right off the bat. 3 of them going down. And now the force fields have taken place, but they're actually blocking off a lot of the melee forces. You see the Zealots just can't get in there. And now the Marauders are sandwiched off again from the Zealots. Plenty of range damage going back and forth here, but you see DeMuslim is obviously backed into a corner. He can either stay and fight, or he can lift it off and try to get out and fight another day with these forces. I do like how he's using the minerals to advantage, trying to force the Protoss units to charge in and funnel in through this spot, this one, and this one. You see he's actually lifted off his medevac right here. Meanwhile, over here we do have another drop coming in, trying to take out the Nexus, stimming and everything. Probes are actually evacuating, but will the Nexus go down? I think it will. Oh man, there's nothing that Krolu can do at this point. You see, he's just holding the Zealots back, and the Nexus is gone. This is really going to hurt his economy. You see, having both of these assimilators down and out, plus the minerals, and the pylon's gone as well. Delayed the Colossus rather, from coming out. Very nicely handled by DeMuslim. You see, he's actually able to evacuate with a few troops there, including the sacrificial Marauder, dying so that way the other Marines and Marauders may live, and there's the rebuilding of the Nexus. Very, very nice play indeed from DeMuslim. Let's actually take a look at the units lost tab as a result of that. We could see 5225 to 3250 for the Terran. Alright, so income right now as a result. Look at the gas for the Protoss, man. This is not the kind of gas that you want to be having when you're trying to go into Colossi tech. And there's another drop there from DeMuslim. You can see the Marauders doing a number on the Stalkers very quickly, dismissing him from his post. Another Stalker actually going down just a second or two. Will he be able to get out? Oh, looks like he was saved. Blink was on cooldown. The Nexus is rebuilding, though, but now we're seeing DeMuslim just kind of taking shots wherever he wants to, kind of spreading them out there in the gas, etc. Alright, there we go. DeMuslim sees the forces from Krolu are responding. Oh, very nice blink. You can see the Stalkers trying to take out that medevac, sealing the infantry to their fate. Wow, 15 hit points, folks. That medevac just barely able to escape. And now, like I said before, man, Krolu is trying to get out those, those Colossus. He's also getting that extended thermal lance upgrade. You got to be able to upgrade the Colossi range from 6 to 9. That's certainly something you need when dealing with this this heavy infantry force. But you see, DeMuslim has been able to respond. He's got the 2 Vikings here already. He's even got the armory here in case the game goes, super late. He can get some upgrades in the coming minutes. But I'm not sure if he's going to do that just yet. Looking though, you see he's continuing to put most of his money just into units. He's also trying to expand again here. You see this one's already good to go. We're having a serious mule party. Gotta waste all that energy, man. Not waste it, but spend it all down super quick. And now here comes DeMuslim, hoping to at least take out the natural here. This is the main source of income. Whoa, Immortal almost going down super quick. 1 Colossi in the field. Colossus, rather. I swear I'll get that right one day. Vikings just taking that out super quick. The probes even coming off the line to do some damage. I'm not sure it's going to be enough, though, because there's the GG from Krolu. DeMuslim going to be taking game number 1 in this best of 3 series. So let's go on to game number 2 and see what happens next.